Hello, hello. Welcome to Monday, the Moon's Day. Happy full moon in Aquarius. I'm so excited that you all are here. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I can jump on live in all the areas. So as you're able to see me and hear me, give me a quick little shout out, a little hello, and let me know that you can hear me. It's always one of the fun things going live, which I love to do because I get to interact with you one-on-one, answer your questions, and we have some community time with one another. So welcome. I think I'm live in all the places. Happy full moon day. It's Monday, which is ruled by the moon. It is a full super blue moon. We are going to talk about that and break that down. But first, let me pull a card for the week so that you can tune in to the energy that's ahead of you. And then also just kind of figure out, how do I make the most of this week? Because I see the cards like an energy weather report, a chance to say it's hot, it's cold, it's windy, it's rainy. And then you get to decide with free will how you want to engage with that weather. It's not that we have to be a victim and feel like the weather's happening to us. It's rather saying, this is the weather. How do you choose to engage with it? All right, so hand on the heart, we're going to just tune in and ask, what's the most important thing you need to know for this week ahead? Two of Swords. So there's a decision that needs to be made. We're definitely at a crossroads this week energetically, and we have to make a decision. No decision or no choice is the same as a choice. This is, to put it in friendlier terms, the poop or get off the pot card. I have a teacher who says shift, make the shift, or the universe will make the shift for you. And it's a choice or a decision that's made a little bit on blind faith, meaning you may not have all the answers, you may not fully understand the situation yet, but it is important that you make the best possible choice with the information you have on hand as you move forward. That way you don't feel like life is happening to you. And I'm called to pull another card because it's kind of sticking out here. And I'm just asking, what's the most important, like, how can you make that decision? How best can you make that decision? Temperance. So I'm going to definitely say, call on your angels for help and guidance and support in tuning into what is your energy, your heart, your beliefs, your dreams versus the collective. This is definitely a balancing of energy between doing and being. It's temperance. It's finding the right path. So I'm going to encourage you to take note of energy in, energy out. So as you're making your decision, notice how it feels within your physical body. The physical body is one of the best ways that you can connect to your gut instincts and your intuition, and you can feel if it's right. What does your gut tell you? Is it in divine right harmony or exchange or balance? Or do you feel like you're selling yourself short? Does it feel like you're giving a piece of your soul or yourself away when you make this choice and decision? Are you not honoring who you are in this lifetime? So a decision or a choice has to be made this week. Tune in when you're making it as to the energetic exchange. Is it in divine right harmony and balance? Like what you're putting into it, do you feel like you're receiving the return that feels in divine right balance? And that's not always apples to apples, oranges to oranges. It's sometimes a little different. Good morning, Diane. So glad you could make it. Welcome, Julie. Yay. And all our friends who are watching. Okay, hey, if we haven't met yet, my name is Irina Miller. I'm an energy, I call myself a spiritual, well, I call myself a lot of things, but a spiritual life guide, an energy alchemist. I wanted to combine all those things at once, and an astrologer. My goal is to be a guide, to shine a light. So these practices that I've been doing for the last 3 decades, teaching thousands of students and certifying and studying and initiating in whatever I can so that I can create the unique energy recipe for you. That is my joy. And that's what we talk about when we discuss here, specifically the energy practices that you can use to harness the energy of the moon and the energy around you. So let's dive into this week. Let's just start with the elephant in the room, so to speak, the full moon today. So happy full super blue moon, tongue twister, all of these things at once. Okay, so let's break it down. For my friends on YouTube, you will probably be able to see me sharing my screen. I am going to see if I can do this. And if you can't see my screen, I will put a picture of this down in, oh, is it going to let me? holy cannoli. I had this all set up and ready to go. You know what? I'm going to do it this way, but I want to just show you what it looks like. The full moon itself, even though it may not make 100% sense just now. The cool thing about seeing the energy of the moon and the astrology of it is that there's an energetic imprint that it leaves on your heart. And I'm a visual learner, so maybe it would help you understand what I'm talking about. So for my Facebook friends, I don't know that you'll be able to see it, but you'll get the background. And if you go back onto YouTube, you'll see the image. So this full moon, let's just talk about what makes it a supermoon. Well, the fact that it's a supermoon means that it is the closest in orbit to the Earth that it can possibly be. So like within a 90% closeness of how close it can be to the Earth. Kind of a tongue twister there. Haven't had my coffee yet. But long story short, when we look at the full moon, especially right around moonrise, it appears so large and so big just because it is closer to Earth than it normally is. That's what makes it a super moon. So the idea on an energetic front is that it has a larger impact on us energetically. You might feel greater emotion. You might feel more fatigue. You might feel more energy. It is highlighting for you in your chart something specific. It is waking something up within you. Full moons are a time of culmination where we're celebrating some kind of ending or graduation. Things are wrapping up. Some people see it as letting go. That's really the waning phase that follows it. But right now, we're saying celebrate, reflect back. Think of the full moon shining a light on the earth in the dark corners, causing reflection. Reflect on the areas of your life that have been going really well, according to plan. Reflect on the places you want to go. Are you still in alignment with those dreams? If not, this full moon is a time to celebrate the wins, to reflect on what maybe hasn't worked so well. And then as we get into the rest of the week, let go of the things that are either completed or, no longer serving your highest. So that's the idea of the full moon and the super moon. Supermoon is just that the moon is closer to Earth than it normally is. The orbit is the closest it can be, or within 90% of that. And then also it looks larger and it has a bigger energetic effect on us. The blue moon aspect. This is interesting because lots of different definitions of a blue moon are out there. And the two most popular, one is that you have 2 full moons in a calendar month. That's considered a blue moon. The other one is that you have 4 full moons in a season. So right now, as we're kind of between summer and autumn, we have 4 full moons. So it would be that third moon that is considered to be the full moon, which is this moon, the moon in Aquarius. So this blue moon, it's relatively rare that you get a blue moon, whether it ends up being 13 moons in a year or 4 full moons in one season. But this is considered a seasonal blue moon. And blue moons are just, like the old phrase, once in a blue moon. There are certain rare events that are happening that is making this particular full moon a little bit more impactful for people. Some people are really going to feel it, and then others maybe not so much. And that really depends on how the chart is, I should say, how the full moon is affecting your chart, the stars in the heavens when you were born. And if you'd like to see me break that down and do some examples, if you'd ever like to have your chart read or the like, let me know. I'm looking for some volunteers because I think it's fun when we see this in action. All right, let's dive into this particular chart for those who can see it. Hello, Eleanor. Hello, Sarah. Happy birthday, Sarah. Just had your birthday. Fabulous Leo energy. Heather, good morning. And Alma, good morning. You're really feeling this full moon, making changes and trying to let go of the past. So you're an Aquarius moon. Ooh, I get chills. So that's right. So somebody with an Aquarius moon, with a Leo moon, a Scorpio moon. Who did I forget? I forgot another fixed sign. Taurus moon. Did I say Taurus? You might be feeling this a little bit more than other people because this full moon is taking place in a fixed energy, which just basically means that the other aspect of this full moon is that it might be a little bit more stubborn. It really has on an upside the energy to complete something, the energy to go after something. Hello, Hannah, happy blue moon. But at the same time, it might really want to dig its heels in and not be so flexible. That's where the decision point, that first tarot card I pulled, the Two of Swords, that's where it could come in. And I'm going to dive into that here in a moment. And Eleanor, you said huge few days for yourself. You got caught up in a situation ending up, oh no, with you being portrayed as a villain. You went deep within you and have accepted your part in the situation, have released it. Oh, love, love, love to you. A lot of letting go, forgiveness, and acceptance of what is, trusting the universe that has protected you from the people in question. Yes. Oh, and it's all good now. You say, oh, I'm so glad to hear it. Hello, Andrea. You're a Taurus. Yep. Yep. You said you're Taurus moon. Fantastic. So yeah, any of you with the fixed moon, hello, Chrissy. Thank you. Fixed moons in a fixed sign, you might be feeling this a little bit more than other people. If the full moon is happening on one of the planets where you were born, you also might be feeling this a little bit more. And that really comes in with a personal reading, or again, if you'd like me to do some readings here on this channel, let me know. I would love, love, love to give you examples. All right. So with that being said, we talked about supermoon, we talked about blue moon, and then the full moon in general. Another thing that makes this a very special kind of rare moon is that it is in a position, and I don't know if you guys will be able to see my cursor, but I'm going to see if I can just, no, I'm still playing with the cursor. All right, discard changes. But Uranus is playing a big role in this full moon. And Uranus at a very high level expression is creation, innovation, thinking outside the box. It's celebrating your unique identity. It is taking humanity into consideration. So the dreams that you're working on and building help to elevate the group consciousness. And this full moon, I really encourage you to tune into that. If, you know, life happens, right? Sometimes we're going along and we just kind of get stuck in a groove. If it's a lower vibration, that Uranus, what can happen is it shows up as chaos, sometimes breakdown to break through. So if anything is kind of falling apart in your world, take a moment before trying to hold all the pieces together, to take a deep breath, to say, is this the universe really trying to help me out? I thought that I loved this. I thought that this was in my highest and best interest. But if I take a moment to ground and reflect, is it really? And going back to that Two of Swords tarot card for the week, it's like a decision has to be made. We may not know why something is falling apart or spinning into chaos in our world. We may not know why things feel erratic and chaotic. But if you take a moment to do your spiritual practices, to ground, that root flush fill I'll share something else today too, to meditate, whether that's going for a walk, whether that's rowing, whether that's dancing, whether that's sitting, and just closing your eyes. Many different ways to meditate, but tune in, step away from the world. Uranus is encouraging you, even though it is electrical, even though it is technology, to recognize your unique gifts that you bring to this world. So I would encourage you, unplug with this full moon. A bath would be wonderful with this full moon. So my Moon Club members have a very special bath time ritual that I will be sharing with you in the group. If you're curious about the Moon Club, it's just irenamiller.co/club. You can check it out. But a bath is a wonderful, wonderful thing to do. It connects you with the energy of the moon, which is water. The moon is very connected to the element of water. The other thing I want to highlight with this is that, remember, your words carry power, especially with this full moon. So this full moon, you have the sun in Leo, and here in the chart, it's up at the tippity top, and the moon in Aquarius. Leo represents your heart, your identity, your ego. Good thing, ego. Your energy is going. It represents you as an individual. And make no mistake, you came down to this world to explore your identity, to get to know yourself as an individual apart from the group, apart from the collective. But we're balancing that with the moon in Aquarius, which is about the collective energy. It is saying, okay, this is me. How can I create harmony? What gifts do I bring to this world that can help create something beautiful in the collective. It's not about falling into comparison, which is so easy for us to do in a very plugged in world where we see, and of course, many times it's the highlights, of people's lives where it feels like they're succeeding, they're getting ahead, they're having success. We've been trying. What's wrong? Why not us? What's happened? We can fall into that comparison, or we look and we say, oh, this person's so gifted. I wish I had their talents. When I taught yoga in my studio, I used to really talk about the image of a tapestry. If the tapestry had all the same colors, let's say it was all a beautiful violet, it could be very beautiful, right? So all the threads are violet. But if you started to weave in a little yellow and a little gold and a little green and a little red, all of a sudden the tapestry became very vibrant, especially with the complementary colors, the violet and the gold, or the violet and the yellow. It took on more dimension. It became more texturized. It was more interesting. So these differences, these different gifts we bring in are meant to complement. And when we have these complements coming together, everybody shines more. There is more to be seen, more to be enjoyed. So I would also encourage you with this full moon to take time. So unplugging, maybe it's with the full moon bath, maybe it's going for a walk, but it's giving yourself the opportunity to really tune in to your gifts and the way that you speak to yourself, because it's so easy to speak to ourselves like, oh, I wish I could do that, or I'm so this, or I'm so that. And if you've ever been exposed to Dr. Masaru Emoto's work, The Hidden Messages in Water, let me know. Have you ever read that book, Hidden Messages in Water, or heard of that concept? It's really beautiful. You can Google it. But Emoto's work, Dr. Emoto's work, he shows when you've taken water and you place a label on it, like love, I love you, or I hate you, looking to the side, or you're amazing, or you're stupid. What happens is it changes the crystalline structure of the water. He did the same thing with music with water, or water that was polluted, or water that was blessed. And sure enough, the blessed water, the water that was spoken to with love, formed crystals that were beautiful. They were symmetrical. It's like, what's that word? Symmetrical in shape as opposed to asymmetrical. They're a beautiful clear color as opposed to a distorted kind of murky, yellowy, black, gray. And it blows you away, because I don't think we realize the power that our words carry. So that would be another second aspect of a full moon ritual that I would encourage you to do, is write down your gifts. Write them down as an I am statement, because that's the Leo, the I am. And the Aquarius energy is the I connect. I am bold and I bring leadership to my community, or I am a mediator and I bring harmony to my community. You can play with that. You can do any statement you wish. And Andrea, you said you'd love to see me dissect your chart. Okay, fantastic. We'll have to talk. I'll reach out to you. Beautiful. And Eleanor, you said you're a Cancer moon. So Cancer is not a fixed sign. That's a cardinal. Great, great question. But the thing about the Cancer moon here is that where the Cancer moon is showing up is, number one, Cancer moons are more, how do I want to say, Cancer rules the moon. So your moon is in its happy place, in its home, Eleanor. And it's in a place where it can sometimes be more sensitive to the moon and what it's doing. So if you know the degree of your moon, that would be very, very interesting. But the Cancer moons are not feeling this directly, but because the moon is at home in Cancer, they always feel the moon. And Eleanor, or Alma, you said that you just went through a similar situation as Eleanor. Oh my goodness, it's getting better. A lot of heavy emotions. Oh, I hope everything gets better for you. Oh my goodness, big, big hugs to all of you. And Eleanor, you said plan on having a bath later. Wonderful. Yeah, because you're quite a few hours ahead of us on the other side of the pond. You need to light your fire, for enough hot water, and don't have baths much this time of year. Yeah, it's getting to that. Yeah, but today's wintry. Oh, good. I'm so glad that you're embracing your intuition more. And that's what it is. And about following the path of the moon and what's happening with the moon is that it helps us tune into our intuition. It helps us trust our gut. And Andrea, you said you've got Leo rising too. Holy cannoli. So yeah, this full moon is definitely going to be hitting you, Andrea. Oh my goodness gracious. You will be feeling it. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a moment. Just take that off the screen. With a full moon, just to kind of sum it up in general, give yourself a moment, carve out some time, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, for reflection. If you can squeeze in the bath, fabulous. But I would encourage you to write down your declarations of who you are, and even those things that you wish to become that you may not have fully embodied yet. So for example, if you want to be a teacher, I am a teacher, or I am a ballerina, but incorporate them as if they had already happened. Feel into that today. It's a very, very special full moon. Okay, so with that being said, let's talk about the rest of the week and this energy. And I'm going to give you another practice for the full moon at the very end, more of a meditative practice. I love to know the general energy of the moon and what it's doing phase-wise, because that gives you a heads up as to whether you might have more energy that week to get things done or less energy. Good morning, Donna. Glad you made it. It's a waning phase to the moon. So we have the full moon today, Monday, and then it'll be waning gibbous. The idea is Monday, we take time to reflect what's worked, what hasn't worked. Am I on track to where I want to go? What needs to change? What needs to be celebrated that it's done, or what needs to be let go of? So waning is about letting go. So with this waning gibbous phase, you are being encouraged to kind of cull the things out that are either done, accomplished, or no longer serving your highest. That's a general energy of the week. You also might start to feel a little bit less energetic, and you might want to take things at a somewhat slower pace. With that being said, let's talk about Monday's energy. Monday moon is in Aquarius, and I'm going to pull a card for Monday. We've already talked a lot about full moon and what it is. So just with hand on heart, I'm going to ask, what's the most important thing that you need to know about Monday's energy? All right, Queen of Pentacles. I love her. She's secure in who she is. She's not trying to prove herself to anyone, not trying to defend herself or make declarations to convince the world that she has succeeded. She knows she's succeeded. She knows she has gifts and talents. That pentacle right on her lap. She has really acquired and accomplished so much so that she as a queen can sit in the middle of the forest with her eyes closed. She's at peace. So this Monday, I'm going to encourage you to also reflect back on all of the wins. How far have you come? Remember the power that your words carry. Celebrate that. You might say, I am an accomplished pianist, or I am an accomplished parent, or whatever it is. Take a moment to celebrate those wins and to bask in the enjoyment of how far you have come. All right. Tuesday, moon still in Aquarius. An Aquarius moon, the idea of that is it is celebrating your unique identity, you as an individual. What are you creatively bringing to the moment? So Tuesday's energy, 9 of Wands, you're still standing. I think of Elton John's song, right? I'm still standing after all these years. She has come so far, and all of these challenges haven't deterred her. Look how strong she is. She's got her chin up. I've got this. I can do this. I always see this card as like running a marathon, 26.2 miles, and you're at 26.1. And it's like, I don't know if I can finish. I don't know. It's been so hard. I'm so tired. And you realize, wait, I've only got 1/10 of a mile to go. So Tuesday, it's saying, keep going. If a dream has been placed in your heart, it's been placed there for a reason. It's not just random. The universe will support you. It is a matter of divine timing, of listening to your intuition and inklings. And it's also sometimes a bit of finessing, the dreams that we have in our heart. I'll never forget when I first moved to Cincinnati, I had fallen in love with yoga in high school. And in college, I used to go to this yoga school not far from my house that I absolutely loved. I grew up in the DC area at that point. And I thought one day I wish I could be a yoga teacher and I could have my own yoga studio. How amazing would that be? but I was in college for information systems for business, and I was finishing up because I was going to be responsible, do the right thing, get the business degree so I could get a job when I graduate, move out. And I met my husband, and he said, let's go to Cincinnati. I said, okay. And I was, had my business degree, was working in a corporate firm, and moved to Cincinnati. And I'll never forget, like, one of the first times I was here, my mother-in-law was showing me around, and we went by this one mall, and I was like, oh, okay, nice mall. And next thing you knew, 3 years later, I had left corporate America at that point, and I had my own yoga studio set up less than a mile down the road from that mall. If I had known that I was going to be able to leave corporate America and follow my dream of being a certified yoga teacher, having my own registered yoga school to teach at less than a mile down the road from where I was just kind of sightseeing with my mother-in-law, I would have been like, what? No way. I think it would have scared me because I would have said, how can I make that happen? There's no way that I would have been able to put together the steps to make that happen. It really was miraculous. It was God having a hand in it. And I just kept following the breadcrumbs that made it a possibility. If I had tried to actively plan out how that was going to happen, it was always a dream of mine to be a full-time teacher in the spiritual community, to have my own mystery school. But if I had to say, okay, well, this is how I'm going to do it, all these steps, there's no way I could have figured that out and made it happen. So this is saying you may not have all the answers, like the detailed steps of like, move forward 2 steps, turn left, blah, blah, blah. But trust, you are close. Keep hanging on. And Donna, you just thought of that song too. Oh, I've got chills. He's been your favorite musician since you were about 11. Aw, I know. I love Elton John. I had a really wild dream the other night about Elton John and Emma Thompson. It was crazy. Very cool. Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad miracles are happening there. Yay. Glad to hear it. And Alma, you said you're also Leo rising and Libra sun. Oh boy. Yeah. So all my Leo rising friends, you could definitely be feeling this. Oh, okay. So lots of love to you. And Heather, oh, Scorpio energy. So yeah, Scorpio, you're going to be feeling this full moon too. Okay. So with Wednesday, the moon is moving from Pisces into Aries on Wednesday. So it moves, holy cannoli. I might have said the moon was still in Aquarius on Tuesday and it was in Pisces energy. So Wednesday, let's talk about Pisces moon. I'm getting so excited here. What I'm looking at, just so you know, is my Inside of the Moon journal. Every week I write down where the moon is and what it's doing. And I'm so focused on that Aquarius because it's a big deal, this Aquarian energy. It's ruled by Uranus, which is why Uranus plays an extra special punch with today's full moon, making things a little chaotic, a little erratic, a little unexpected surprises. But go with the flow of it. Go to the high frequency of Uranus. Say, I'm going to be innovative. I'm going to think outside the box. There are always options. There are always possibilities. Even when it feels like I'm at a dead end, you always have a choice. Remember that. Okay, so let's talk about the Pisces moon. Pisces moon is a little bit, I always think of Pisces as still waters run deep. They're very intuitive. They are deep feeling, but they don't always show their emotions on the surface. They pick up things so intensely. So with Tuesday and Wednesday's energy, I would encourage you more water, have water nearby you, whether you're taking tubs or you're drinking water, or you can be near a body of water and play music. Play that music and dance it out. So I am going to go ahead and tune in and just ask what's the most important thing that you need to know about Wednesday's energy. 9 of Pentacles. So this is enjoy yourself. This is, again, reminding me of Monday's energy, which is saying you've worked really hard to get to where you are. Take a moment to stop, pause, and enjoy. When you have big dreams, when any of us have big dreams, what can happen is our eye is on that goal of the big dream. So like for me, the yoga studio or bringing my business online. And we can get so caught up in the moment that we're not at that end goal that we forget to celebrate the little wins along the way. We can get very, very frustrated. I think about like when I was in university and I was looking at the course catalog thinking, oh my God, how am I going to get all these credits? I was like, okay, just celebrate the little wins. Okay, I got this one and this one done. Fantastic. Great. Celebrate the little wins. It's going to give you the energy and strength to go for the long haul. And know that by the end of Wednesday, around 7:02 p.m. Eastern, the moon energy is going to shift into Aries, and you're going to feel a little bit more bold. You're going to go from maybe an introverted place where you wanted to be away from the world, where you wanted to be contemplative, daydreamy, into I'm ready for action. So Wednesday evening, for my friends who are Eastern time, 7:02 p.m., you're going to find you're ready to take action. You're ready to move forward on those dreams. So moving into Thursday's energy, moon is fully in Aries and the sun goes into Virgo. So happy, happy birthday, my Virgo friends. Yay. If you're a Virgo, drop it in the comments so I can wish you, and all of us can wish you a very, very happy birthday. And Alma, you said you love this because you wanted to give up because of your childhood trauma. You feel yourself getting stronger. Yes. You work with the community for youth, mental health, and substance use disorder. Very healing. So glad you're here, Alma. So much love to you. There is such strength when we come together in community. And that's the power of Aquarius. Aquarius is thinking of community. It's thinking of the greater whole. It's bringing all of these unique gifts together and saying, we can create something really, really special. And Abby, you're asking, do I ever hold classes locally? I haven't held classes locally for a while. All of my classes are virtual because I have friends all across the globe that I love to play energy with and astrology. But I've had in the back of my mind a retreat that I'm putting together. So if you're interested in a retreat, that, oh my gosh, we would go into so many things. A yoga practice. My background, I'm certified registered yoga teacher, the highest level. I'm a teacher's teacher. We would do sound healing. We would do crystal work, making crystal grids. We would do astrology. We would do energy healing. All of these things are things I'm certified and initiated in. We do card readings. Oh my gosh, it would be a delight of the senses. Talk about like an all-in-one package. So if you're interested in a retreat, let me know. And Donnie, you said, good to know you've been staying away from the world. It'll be nice to move out of it. Yeah. Community is important. Okay. So Thursday's energy. Happy birthday, Virgo friends. Let's see. How can you make the most of Thursday's energy? I love everyone popping up. Ace of Cups. This is love. This is your heart. This is you tuning in. What do you love? What is deepest and most important on your heart that you want to bring out? The other thing is that it's a gift of love. Thursday, I'm going to invite you to be mindful of how do I want to share this? So think about it from the manifesting perspective. When you have a dream that you're creating and you're just in those early stages, you're so excited. I'm going to do this, I'm going to run a marathon, or I'm going to backpack across Europe, or I'm going to, hold a retreat, in X amount of months, or whatever it is. I want to encourage you to be mindful of who you share that dream with, because sometimes when we share our dreams with other people, their fears light up about what can and can't be done. And then they project those fears onto you. So this gift of love that's being given from your heart and also what you're receiving from others is very, very precious. And just be mindful of the people that you're sharing your love with on Thursday and the people that you're receiving it from, to just say hello and to be aware of, how do I want to say, where they're coming from. I'll put it that way because it feels like a bit of a tender heart on Thursday. The moon being in Aries, the sun moving in Virgo. Because here's the thing about my beautiful Virgo friends. Virgos have the hearts of a servant. The Virgos are called to make a difference in this world. And they do it on a very practical sense. They're down to earth. It's an earth-based energy. They are the builders. They help make the dreams come into reality. And when you bring a heart forward into that, it's done so with, there's a movie quote that's coming into mind, but it goes along the lines of like, here's my heart. I give it fully. Please be mindful with it and treat it, delicately and with love, because it's just this fullness of the love being given. It's just interesting how that's coming through. And Julia said, yes, to a retreat. It would be amazing. Yay. And Eleanor says, that sounds amazing. You'll have to save up for a trip over the ocean. Eleanor, I was thinking of you. We may have to connect. I have my 30-year high school reunion coming up from my school in Dublin. I was like, I skipped my 30-year reunion here in the States. Maybe I should go to the Irish one. Maybe we'll have to do a retreat in Ireland. Definitely we will at some point, most definitely. But the next one coming up, we'll see where that is. Anyway, I thought, like sometimes these things happen in life. It was, a reason to head over across the pond. All right, so Friday's energy. Moon is in Aries, and then it moves into Taurus. I think this is really lovely. The moon's going to move into Taurus late, around 10 p.m. Eastern. So my friends across the pond, you'll be sleeping. For my friends on the West Coast, 7 p.m., perfect time to get ready to enjoy yourself for a great weekend. But the Aries energy, remember, that's bold. That's taking initiative. So whatever stirs with this full moon on Monday today, by that midweek, Thursday, Friday, you're going to feel the energy to really start making space for it, because we're in a waning, we're letting go. And I want to encourage you that the weekend is really tuning into what you value. So if we think about Friday, what's the most important thing that you need to know? 7 of Pentacles. This is tending to the dreams that you have in motion. Keep in mind, we're also in a Mercury in retrograde still. We're almost done with it. But when Mercury's in retrograde, we want to be mindful of the ideas that stir to the surface if they're brand new. If it's something that we've been working on, that we've been planning and connecting from the past, then yes, pay attention to that, because we're refining it. But if it's something totally out of left field, don't take too many actions on it yet. Just be aware, because we're kind of rehashing things. We're reviewing things. When things come up in Mercury retrograde that are brand new, they don't usually stick. But if it's something that we'd started before Mercury went retrograde, which was 2 weeks ago, then pay attention. We want to nurture those ideas, those dreams that have already had a seed planted, that you've already put some work into. So Friday, Aries, be bold, keep loving on and nurturing the dreams that you have in place. Refine and readjust, right? Like pull the weeds, whatever is kind of crowding out growth, whatever is completed. Like, sometimes we have to deadhead flowers. We pull the tops off of the flowers. I invite you to do that. A little bit of pruning. Yeah, because happy times are coming. There was another card that was popping out. This 10 of Cups is a fullness and a joy, which the weekend is really going to enable you to connect with. All right, so Saturday, Moon in Taurus. Time to enjoy yourself. Tune into what you value. 2 of Cups, partners, reminds me of the Jack Johnson song, Better Together. Everything's more fun when you have someone to share it with. We can enjoy these beautiful sights and places and scenes, but if you have someone to share that experience with, a good meal, sightseeing, it makes all the difference. I would encourage you, reach out to a friend, or, take a partner out on a date, do something that's very, when I say sensual, it involves all of the senses, meaning, maybe you pick out a great picnic blanket and great food that smells good and looks good and tastes good. And you wear something that's comfortable yet beautiful, and you feel just so present. You can enjoy yourself fully. Saturday, I'm going to say it's a great date day. Let me know if you go on a date this Saturday, how it goes. And then Sunday, the moon from Taurus, very, very late in the evening. For us East Coasters, it's about 11:04 p.m. Across the pond, you'll be sleeping. West Coasters, it's going to be 8 p.m. But we probably won't notice that transition too much. We're still in Taurus. We're still enjoying ourselves. A real weekend of healing before we get into the mind, which is Gemini energy. So how can you make the most of Sunday's energy? Hierophant. I love him laughing. This is traditionally a very serious card, very Saturnian. These are the rules. This is tradition. This is the way it needs to be done. But I love this variation, which is like there is a pathway to enlightenment, to heaven, so to speak, stairway to heaven here. And you have all these different sacred practices represented. You have I never can say this right, but the Icarus? No, not Icarus, like the Ichthus, the little Jesus fish. You have the Triskelion from Celtic traditions. You have the Om symbol in there. You have a pentagram. But it's basically saying all of these roads, right? We're all working towards joy. We're all working towards love. Love is the answer. So whatever path you're on, Choose the pathway of love. If fear comes up, if false urgency comes up, tune back into the pathway of love. And that's Sunday's energy. And Eleanor, you said yes. Yeah. Oh, Andrea, you're over the ocean too. Fantastic. Where are you? Oh, I love all our friends from all around the world. Thanks for joining me live here. Oh my goodness. All right, seeing if I missed anything. Okay, so I want to share just really quickly a little meditation that you can do for this full moon, a little sacred practice and ritual to add either to a full moon bath or to add to your I am statements that you have written. And Donna, you said, I pulled this card before you remember. Yeah, you love that he's laughing. Yeah, work towards love. Okay, so just taking your seat. And this is an old phrase that is used in many spiritual traditions, to take your seat. What does that mean? Because most of us are probably sitting. It simply means that we sit with a long, tall spine. We soften our ears and we open our heart so that we can receive the insights, the downloads, the inspiration, the guidance that is coming through just for you. So I invite you to take your seat, to soften and relax the jaw, and even to soften the eyes, and tune your awareness into the very center of your chest, your heart space. And as you bring your awareness into your heart, allow the rest of the world to fall away. It would have you believe at times that you're something that you're not, or maybe that you're lacking, or that you're overdoing, you're reaching too high. But in your heart, in this place where we do connect with God universe, you know the truth. You know the dreams that were placed there. You know what stirs and calls you. You know when to take that bold leap of faith, and you know when to pause and when to say no. So go to that space in your heart and acknowledge your beautiful, individual, unique identity. This world needs you. We need you. All of these gifts that you bring to the table are so very important. So important. And you represent, yes, a lineage and a generation. The ancestors who've come before you, who've paved a pathway, we honor them. But they don't define who you are, how far you can go, or where you'll go. No limits. So I'm just bringing through this very supportive, healing energy, honoring all that your ancestors have done for you to help you be in this place, in this moment in time. We honor their memory, their legacy, their struggles, their wins, and also recognize that even though you may look like them or sound like them and have certain traits like them, you are uniquely you. And they may not understand, whether they're living or not, why you're choosing the path you are. But there's no need to defend yourself or to explain why. You know. Imagine a beautiful flame in the very center of your chest, the reds, the oranges, the yellow, and the blue of it. Wonderful. And no matter the winds that blow, this flame within your heart remains steadfast. Take a moment to acknowledge all of your angels and spirit guides and helpers on the other side, helpful ancestors. And to that peace that passes all understanding, a limitless, unconditional love, the love of God universe. Soften the soles of your feet. And there are many different ways to ground, but today I just invite you to imagine roots growing from the soles of your feet down into the earth itself, anchoring you. And as you sit here, imagine just turning your palms to face the sky, backs of the hands can rest on the lap. And you relax. And breathe. And imagine that your angel or a trusted guide is stepping forward. And they're sharing something with you that as you go on your journey this week, as you reflect on how far you've come, where you're going, your unique, special gifts. This symbol is a reminder that you're on the right track, that you have the support from your friends in high places, your angels, your guides, God universe, and that you will be supported. Imagine your angel placing something in your hands. It might be a word, a color, a smell. It might be a sound. And just thanking your angel for this support. You might even just get a knowing, just with incredible gratitude for all of the support, for angelic guidance. Remember your symbol or your sign. Good. Bring your awareness back to this moment, the sounds in your room around you. And with the gaze towards the floor, slowly, slowly open your eyes. And the last thing I'll leave you with is a little yoga hand gesture, a mudra. You bring your fingers, you interlace them, and you gently squeeze at that top knuckle with the thumbs towards the sky, and place your hands on your heart. This is a yoga hand gesture that is unshakable confidence and trust in the guidance that you've received in your heart, knowing that you can achieve your dreams. This eradicates self-doubt, second-guessing, and tunes you in to where you need to go. So at any point during this week, if you doubt yourself, if you start to pull back, use this hand gesture to help. Oh, and Eleanor, you said that was just perfect, just what you needed. Okay, you're very much needed. You're so welcome. And Andrea, Birmingham, UK, so great to have you. And Alma, you said this moon's right on time. Oh, fantastic. I am looking forward to the day when we can bring our community together and we can all meet in person. Thank you for joining me live here virtually. It is such a joy to have this time with you every Monday. Thank you for coming to play and for investing your time. I love, love, love to bring these practices to you. If you'd like to see more of something, less of something, let me know. Respond to the emails that I send out with the recording. If you're not on my email list, then drop a little add me, or how do I get onto your email? And I'll drop you the link that you can do that. But if you go to my website, arenamiller.com, you can jump on there. And yeah, I think that's all the big, beautiful things. But for more moon goodness, come check out Moon Club. All right, arenamiller.co/club. Holy cannoli. Have a great day. Have a great, great, happy, full moon. You're so welcome, Julie. Lots of love to you, Heather. Thanks for joining. And Bev, you said a retreat would be awesome. Yay! All right, we got to put this together. Much love, and I'll see you guys all on the flip side. Bye, guys.